Good morning, dreamers. How are you today? Some days you just need it. Today's one of those days. Oh man. Yesterday, I had a friend and we checked in on each other. It was supposed to be me checking in on her, see how she's doing. It was us checking on each other. And it was so good that I took the time to make the phone call. And I'm so grateful she asked me to check in on her because it ultimately was a check in on me too. And it led to some other texts and it led to some other phone calls just to check in on other people. And I realized, yeah, sometimes I need to check in and I don't even realize it. She has the wisdom and the discernment to know that she needs a check in. And so she asks for it. And I needed it just as much, if not more, than she did. For sure. For sure. And it was a really good chat. And we were looking at the clock going, oh my goodness, we got to get back to work. But it was so healthy to check in. And I've talked about checking in with yourself before. And on the weekend, I did a check in with myself. I went for a walk. Someone called while I was at the walk. I picked up the phone. I said, you know what? I'll get back to you at 11 o'clock because that's when my me time is finished. So I didn't just ignore the world, but at the same time, I put my boundary in place and I kept it. And I wish it was so much longer than it was, but it was good. It was really good. And to do that check-in and needing a fellow human check-in, like seriously, how you doing? For reals. Was so important too. And I think because I'd had my personal check-in on the weekend, I was vulnerable, I was strong enough to be vulnerable with her in the for reals check-in. And so I think, though, ultimately what I'm trying to say is I wouldn't have called her except that she asked for a check-in. And I think it's so brave to ask for those. I think it's really, really courageous to say, I need a check-in. Can you please check in on me? Asking someone you trust that you know will follow through on it is really important. But I think it's courageous. It really is. And maybe in her mind she knew that I needed the check-in and she was just backwards, going at it backwards. I don't think so. I think it was a sincere, will you please check in on me? And it just became a huge blessing to have these check-ins because she was able to encourage me in ways that I didn't realize she could. Because there was a specific thing going on that I was like, it was itching at me and I was like, I don't know. And it wasn't the end of the world, but it was still something that was just sitting there. And she was able to go, and it's not sitting there anymore. And it was just simply doing life together and checking in on each other. So encouraging you today, if you haven't checked in with yourself yet and spent alone time with yourself, go. Do it. It's worth it. 2, check in with other people. And if you are on the brink of something, ask for a check-in. Don't expect your friends to be a therapist because they cannot be. They cannot be. If you call me and you want me to be a fixer for you, you say to me, I don't know what to do, something's got to give, you need to help me figure this out. I can't help you. I'm not a therapist. And you need to talk to the professionals on that stuff. But if it's just, I could use a check-in. Ask. Have the courage to ask, not demand. Understand that the people on the other side of things. But if you have the time and if the Spirit has prompted you and laid a name on your heart and you're thinking about them and you're praying about them today, give them a shout, give them a text, give them a message. We often expect those struggling with mental health to reach out when they're struggling because we can't read your mind and we don't know. That's true. It's very, very true. My pastor has like a regular rotation of people he calls and checks in on because he knows that people might be struggling and they're not going to reach out. That's when they close in. So if he hasn't heard from someone in a while, he tries to find them. Some, they don't want to hear from him. Okay, doesn't barge in where he's not wanted. But most are just like, thank you for calling. That's really huge. So do that. Go about your day. Ask God to lay one person on your mind and heart, and He will. And then that person can be someone who you reach out to. And I won't guarantee it because I have no scientific fact, but I have a feeling you will be blessed yourself and you will feel very checked in on yourself simply because you are involved in a two-way conversation. Anyway, today's a good day for a good day. I love you. And please know that. We'll talk to you later. Bye.